Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. um, my name is Rita. By the way, I just realized I've never actually told you my name. So my name is Rita, and I'm the CEO of Shooty Creations. So today I'm here to show you how to draft a pattern for like a bustier pattern. Yeah, I'm going to teach you how to draft a bustier pattern, and then in the part 2, because I realized it will be a long video, so in the part 2 I'll be showing you how to join, and I'll be attaching a bra cup and bra cups, and I'll also be attaching boning to the top. It's a bustier corset top. Yeah, so yeah, and it's for one of my clients, and yeah, why not show you how I do it, guys? All right, stay tuned. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share my videos. Yes, so yeah, guys, I don't have drafting paper or pattern paper, so I decided to use my stiff. So that's the white thing, and then that's the fabric, then the lining, then the bra cups. It's for like a D or a C cup size or a D cup, I'm not so sure. Then boning, my zipper that I'm just showing you the materials that I'm going to use, tape measure. Then that's the one I used to, I don't know what they call that, but it's the ironing something. Then pins, a ruler, and chalk. Yeah, so that green thing is the one you see when you're ironing the bra, where the bra cups are going to sit, like those curves when you're ironing curves. Yeah, it's the thing that you put underneath so that you can iron them very well. I don't know the name yet, but yeah, I'll Google and give it to you. So here I'm marking the length of the top. Meanwhile, here I marked at 20 inches, so I'm leaving 1 inch for hemming allowance. But my client is a long distance client, so you know how you send clients measurements and tell them what you want measured. This instead, she was only able to give me just a few measurements. So here, for some of the measurements, I'm just eyeballing. So yeah, so now I'm marking my chest, the chest line or the upper bust. I marked it at 7 inches, and then I marked my bust line, the bust line, at 12 inches. But later on I shifted it to 11.5 inches, guys. When you and then the under bust, I first put it at, I think that was 17, then I changed it to 16 inches. Remember, I'm eyeballing these measurements. All I have is a picture of the client and then the horizontal measurements. I do not have any vertical measurements. I actually have only one vertical measurement, which is the shoulder to length of the top, which was 18 inches. But later on my client told me to put it to 20 inches just to be safe. So yeah, I'm using God's grace. I hope the top actually fits, because when you do not have measurements and you're making these fitted outfits, guys, if you're a tailor, you know. So here I'm just, because of the bust span, the bust span is going to be 5 inches, so I decided to make it at least 4.5 inches above the bust line, and then 5 inches below the bust line. Yeah, so that's how I decided to do it, because normally the distance between your upper bust and your lower bust from the bust line is most of the times equal, so that's why I decided to do it like that. So yeah, just be attentive and you'll see all the adjustments that I'll be making. And then I also added 1 inch at the 1 inches for sewing allowance at the top above the chest line. I first added half an inch, but later on when I was cutting I made it 1 inch. Yeah, so those are my horizontal lines. So here I'm just marking. The first one is the upper bust, you can call it the chest line, then the middle one, the next one, the second one is the bust line, then the under bust line, then the last one is the waist line. So now I'm off to my horizontal measurements, and we are going to start with the bust span. So to get the bust span, there are so many ways to calculate the bust span. You can do, even if you didn't measure it on the client, so just get the bust measurement, the round bust measurement, the bust circumference, yeah, the bust measurement, divide by 4. For me I use divide by 4, which was 11.5, 46 inches divided by 4, 11.5. Then you minus that by 1.5 inches to give you 10 inches. So 10 inches divided by 2 is 5 inches. So the 5 inches is what I'm going to mark on all the lines. Sorry, I got a client there, so I had to get up and first make some money. So let's continue. Yeah, so I'm marking my 5 inches on all the lines. That is the bust span, guys. The formula I used here, there are so many formulas, and if you've been watching my videos, you'll get to know that every time I use a different formula. So for now, because I don't want to confuse you, I'm not going to tell you all of them, but for now let me tell you what I used. I used this one where it's bust divided by 4, bust circumference divided by 4 minus 1.5 inches. Then whatever you get, you divide it by 2, because remember we're working on fold. Okay, yeah. So now here, because it's going to be like a fitted thing, a bustier, I decided to go in by half an inch on the upper bust line, on the under bust line, and on the waist line, on those three lines only. So yes, only on those 3 lines, but later on, guys, I realized I needed to go in by 1 inch, a full inch. So if you're at this point and you're drafting together with me, yeah, please go ahead and reduce, like go in by 1 inch, go in like towards the center front by 1 inch, a full inch, not just half an inch. So that's going to be like our dart. Yeah, okay, I'm just basically creating a dart. For those of you who find corsets really difficult, this is the easiest method you'll ever find. Like, it's so much easy, so easy. Yeah. So then after that, just cut it out. So this is going to be our center front. And remember, when you're drafting a corset, you have 3 parts at the front. That is the middle one that has the center front, which is on fold, which is cut on fold, and then you have the ones on the side, the 2 pieces on the side. Yes, so this is our center front piece. Now it's the one that we are going to use to cut out the other 2 sides, the one on the left and the one on the right, both for the front. So we have 3 front pieces. So yeah, remember guys, I told you I'm cutting out on my stiff paper. You can call it, I don't know, I think it's called stiff paper, depending on which country you're in. So this is my stiff paper. It's what I'm using because I don't have pattern paper. Yeah, you need to improvise as a creative person. So yeah, this is my way of improvising. After all, I'm going to use the stiff paper to iron on the fabric to make it stiff. So here I placed my center front piece, I'm going to call it the center front piece, I placed it on top of the what? On top of the, like slightly on top, like make sure the line, yeah, the best way for you to understand is this: make sure the line on the under bust and the line on the waistline match the line, like the previous line that you drew. You get? Like the previous line that you had drawn for the bust span. Yeah, so this cutout piece should sit on that. But when you reduced it by 1.5, sorry, by 1 inch, if you've gone in by 1 inch, meaning our that is going to be by 1 inch, if you've gone in by 1 inch. So next I'm going to mark the horizontal measurements. So you know, with horizontal measurements you always divide by 4 because we cut our fabrics, we fold our fabrics into 4. So I'm going to mark, my bust is 46, the bust of the client is 46 inches. So divide by 4, that's 11.5 inches, and that's what I marked. And then I marked that on the bust line. Then I went to the bust line still, because the upper bust line, which is the chest line, because she didn't give me the round measurement for that. I just reduced the 11.5 by 1 inch, making it 10.5. So I marked 10.5 inches on the chest line, because normally the bust line is slightly bigger, slightly bigger than the chest line for some people. Then some, for them the chest line is even really small, but for my client, according to the photo, that's 1 inch is okay. So on the waistline and the under bust line, I marked the same, which was 42 inches, divide by 4, and what I got is what I marked on those lines. Because normally for most people, what they have on the, like, their circumference of the under bust is the same as the circumference on the waist. So that's what I marked for my client. Now marking 2 inches for seam allowance all around. Yes, so I'm just following where I marked earlier and joined, and then I'm marking that seam allowance, which is 2 inches all around on all the lines, remember. Yeah, so just keep doing it like that, guys. This is the easiest method, but if you skip a step, it's very easy to make a mistake. So yeah, and I'm also just trying to get used to it. So this is the other ½ inch. Remember how I told you that instead of ½ inch, go in by 1 inch? Yes, so now this is the extra ½ inch that I'm marking to make, like, to get the full round 1 inch. So it's what I'm going to cut it out. So this is very easy. I'm just reducing by ½ inch. It's not so complicated. You don't have to start over, guys. If you've already made the mistake with me, I'm really sorry, first of all. And yeah, but we learn as we keep on practicing. So just remove the ½ inch. Again, remember, it's only on the chest line, the under bust line, and the waist line only. Don't touch the bust line. Do not touch the bust line, guys. Remember that. So I'm pinning it again on the line that I had drawn initially for the bust span. If you are following from the start, you know what the bust span is, and that's where I place the waistline cutout and the under bust cutout on the waistline. Yeah, so I place them there and then I pin. I hope you get what I'm saying. I really hope you get what I'm saying. So yeah, if you guys don't get it, please let me know in the comment section below, so that I'll redo it maybe on another, like on pattern paper or on fabric, whatever you prefer. So now I'm just adding the extra ½ inch still around on all the measurements that I've made, like the horizontal measurements. Like, you don't change much. What you cut the other side, make sure you add it here, because now it's no longer included. Otherwise the the top will be small. So I'm adding that 1/2 inch on my vertical measurements. Here I'm using a different color for you to see that. As you can see, I'm using a different color of chalk so that you can see it. And then after that, I go in again and mark my seam allowance of 2 inches. Still, I'm only exceeding it by 1/2 inch, because that's the one that I've just cut off and it's the one I'm adding. But when you're adding the 2 inches, you add it all around, even on the bust line. So that's the only adjustment that we've made. So yeah, and then after that, go ahead and cut out. And if you saw in the previously, I told you I would add 1/2 inch at the chest line, above the chest line, for my seam allowance, to make it 1 inch above. Yeah, I already did that if you're watching closely. So here I'm cutting out. Yeah, just cut out your, these are all my front pieces, and they're the ones I'm going to use to cut out the back. When you're actually done cutting out the front, you're good to go. The back is, even a toddler can do it. All right guys, please stay tuned. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share. You know I love you. I love you because you're the reason that's why I keep coming back. So yeah, let's keep helping each other. I teach you, you like, you comment, you subscribe, you share. Yeah, so that is how the front is going to be. As you can see, that's my front, and then that's going to be, yeah. So here I'm just marking. I'm marking them so that I don't get confused. These things can, like, they tend to be confusing. So yeah, and then after that, we're going to use them to mark out the back. So let me first fold them again and place them again, and then place them as they're supposed to be, and then get back. So here I'm back on freshly folded paper. Now I've finished pinning them again. I didn't want to waste your time showing you the pinning process. So now I'm marking 1.5 inches for my zipper allowance. Most people use 1.5 inches is enough for me. So yeah, that's what I'm leaving out. Let me draw the line for you guys to actually see it so that it becomes visible. So yeah, and now I place this piece on that line, on that zipper line. I'm placing the front panels, all the front panels joined together. I'm placing them on that on that line. So I'm just using these marble cases to hold the panels down. So now I'm just going to cut out, and that's it for the back. Okay, there is also adding the dart, but normally with the dart I leave about 1 inch, but I decided not to do it because, remember, again, I am not 100% sure of the measurements because I wasn't able to get all the measurements from the client. So instead of adding extra I decided, because she wants it extremely tight on her, so I'm not going to add an extra 1 inch for the dart, but I'm going to add it and stitch it without actually considering it on the measurements. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So let's keep going. So you have just separated the two pieces of the back because, yeah, there will be a zipper, so they need to be separated. So here I'm just going in to create a sweetheart neckline. for the front panel. I went down by 2 inches. I think it was it was about, yeah, here I'm just cross-checking with my chest line measurement to see how many I'll need. So that's, yeah, 2 inches. Yeah, 1.5. I went down by 1.5 inches. I can see. Must have been 2. So yeah, I'm just joining. Yeah. So it's 1.5. Yes, I'm right. It's 1.5 inches, and yeah, I'm just fading it in. So I'm going to cut that out, and whatever I do here, I have to do at the back also, because for the back I'm not creating a sweetheart neckline at the back, but I am reducing I don't know what to call it, but I am also reducing it. You see, for it it's by 2 inches, no, 1.5 still. So that you create like a depression, I don't know, like there is that nice kind of curve, so that the back is not very straight here. So that's what I'm doing at the back, and I'm going to fade it in like towards the side panels. So just create a simple curve. It doesn't have to be like with a French curve or anything, just something simple, not so curvy, not so straight. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing, as you can see, and then cut it out. And then I'm going to use these exact panels to cut out on fabric, cut out on lining. Now this is the stiff paper that I'm using to draft these, so that's why I don't really need to cut out any stiff paper, because I've already done that. And so for this pattern, for this kind of top, you need stiff paper, you need fabric, you need lining, and then the extra additions which I'll put will be boning, a zipper, and bra cups. So yeah, here I'm just joining that dart. I'm adding that dart. I went back to where the bust span is. I marked the bust span of 5 inches, and then here I'm just getting all the lines for the under bust, the upper bust, and yeah, the chest. But then I realized I didn't actually need them, because I did this one dart of yeah, here I'm just showing you how the back is, how it's going to look. So we are going to input our dart of 1 inch, our 1 inch dart. So that means half an inch on the left, half an inch on the right, to create the 1 inch dart. And then it's going to go all the way up to the chest line. Yeah, my ruler is short, but it will work. So this is it. So it's going to go all the way. As you can see. Yeah, so that is it. And then I notch. I just notch where the dart is, so that I can know even when I'm stitching on fabric and the rest and lining, I can know where my dart will be. So yeah, after that I'm going to use these same panels to cut out the fabric and to cut out the lining. And yeah guys, stay tuned for part 2 to show you how the joining will be. I can't make everything in one video because it will be too long. So part 2 will be showing you how I join them, how I attach the bra cups, how I attach the boning, how I attach everything else, and then finish up with the garment. So those are the front panels. That's the fabric, that's the lining, that I'm going to use to cut out. So let me not waste any more of your time. So this is it. This is after cutting out. As you can see, all the panels have both fabric lining and stiff. So for the lining of the front panel, I joined it to kind of see if what I wanted was going to come on, because remember, I don't have all the measurements. Yeah, and it was good. So that is it. And then, yeah, as you can see there, these ones are 2-2 plus the black one, which is the lining. So now these are 3-3 as they're supposed to be. This is for the back panel, and that is also for the back panel, as you can see. And the paper, the pattern paper looks slightly bigger because I already stitched the dart on the fabric and on the lining for the back panel. That's why the paper looks bigger, but I just wanted to see what I was going to do. And